My Lords, I join other noble Lords in thanking particularly the staff working under such difficult conditions. We know the whole society is operating at the moment, and also all the members of the Lordships House who have worked, I know, very hard on this. I would particularly applaud the arrival of the new topical written questions, and I think that's an excellent innovation that hopefully we might see continue into the future. Now, I'm sure over the recess, most noble Lords in this House, like me, have been learning a whole new alphabet soup of video conferencing technologies. And one of the things I've been doing is a great many meetings with local Green parties explaining the work of the House of Lords. And one of the things that I explain when I'm doing that is that they might not know this, but the House of Lords is actually an anarchist collective. I am, of course, referring to the fact that when we are conducting oral questions, private notice questions, it's not a chair who decides who speaks, but it is the whole House collectively that makes that decision. And that brings me to 2 points that I would perhaps, under different circumstances, have liked to put an amendment in. That's obviously not practical today, but I think I'd like to put on record, and both the Green Group and the noble Lord Wigley, who can't be here today, have jointly put forward proposals suggesting the allocation of oral questions. It's obvious that we can't operate in the same manner as we do in the House, but that to maintain some of that democratic nature of traditional oral questions, if the people asking the supplementaries were to be voted for by the whole House rather than selected by the usual channels, and we might want to reflect on that term, usual channels, then I think that is something in our new procedures we might want to look at. The other thing I want to raise, and this is particularly just a concern for the Green Group, but I suspect there are other issues for other groups in this too, is if we look at the proceedings, the ruling, it says oral statements. It says each session, the bishops and non-aligned peers will be allocated one place for questions. Now, I clarified with the Whip's office, and they said each session refers to each question, and I would ask if that can please be confirmed. Secondly, I would like to point to the rather odd, I think, even in perhaps the traditional terms of the House, grouping of Lords spiritual and temporal together. Now, your Lordship's House often enjoys benefits from hearing from the spiritual Lords, whatever we might think of their presence. I might think of their presence here. But if they come in and answer on an oral statement, that leaves no space for the Green Group, for Plaid, or for other non-aligned peers. And I think that is a problem that I would ask that the changes, the future procedures, take a look at. So, thank you for all of the work. A work in progress. Please, can we consult widely as this goes forward to make sure what we have is as democratic as possible and we don't see the coronavirus taking away what democracy we have in this House.